What do you call a Thai temple painter, Balinese dancer, and Harvard-trained anthropologist? Dr. Irving Johnson of NUS, a cultural shapeshifter who studies identity across Southeast Asia's shifting borders. We talk masks, memory, and meaning, while I warm his soul with a Nyonya lamb stew. I'm Chris Choo, and this is HOTPLATE SG60. Irving, welcome to HOTPLATE SG60. Really excited to have you here with me.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, so, your profile is so interesting. You are a Harvard-trained anthropologist, you are a Balinese dancer, and you are a Thai temple muralist.
Yes.
Okay. Of these three identities, which one do you identify most with?
Everybody has multiple identities. You know
Okay.
what I mean? You could be.
That's a very anthropologist answer.
But yeah, I guess that's your professional training. So you are a cook, you are a collector, you are a, what do you call these things? Vloggers.
Vlogger.
I mean, you have multiple identities, right?
Yeah.
You are a husband, you're a father, you're this, you're that. So I think, to me, I don't see a necessity of separation.
Okay.
It's a combination of, you know what I mean? Like everything in one.
Yeah.
But then it's about your mind as well, right? Where do
Yeah.
you put your mind at that moment? So when you're dancing, you are really a dancer. I mean, everything else is put on hold.
Yeah.
Right? When you're on stage and you're doing this thing, same thing when you're painting, same thing when you are. I also make shadow puppets, right? So when I'm making shadow puppets, I'm a shadow puppet maker.
Okay.
Anthropology, I feel, holds them together because it helps me understand a little bit more about what I do and the significance of what I do, kind of the cultural significance of these things and my positionality within it.
Yeah. But what's very interesting is this. I found it fascinating as a discipline, especially a professional ones. You go and live with the society.
Correct, yeah.
And yet you are a scientist, right? How detached can you be from that? I mean, don't you get absorbed into the culture? Don't you somehow become...
Go native, is it?
Kurt's heart in the heart of darkness, you know?
Yeah.
It's so fascinating, right?
It's actually, to me, anthropology... I've always wanted to do it, right?
Yeah.
But NUS didn't have it back then.
Yeah.
So I went to do my PhD at Harvard. You know, we're all humans. There's really nothing other than culture that separates one person from another. And therefore, as an anthropologist, you can be from one culture, right? And then go and live with people from another culture and totally blend in.
Yeah.
Right? If you are culturally sensitive, if you're culturally aware.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
could it be at times quite hypocritical?
How so?
Okay. For me, I blend in pretty well with people. I love, if you look at my house, you see all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
But if I were to say, go live with the NIAS, and then for the NIAS tribe, the separation between the living and the dead is very, very blurred.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's why they have things like the Adu Zatua, of which they daily have conversations with.
Yeah.
My mind is Western trained.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
At what level? I could fake it. I could fake it, right? I mean,
you could fake it, but
I could fake it. But at the most crucial level, my mind is a Descartesian mind, right? I mean, we question things, right?
Yeah.
Right?
In a Western sense.
In a Western sense. So
I mean, you go into any society with your own cultural baggage, right? And that's the baggage you have from the time you were born to the time you go there, right? It could be Western education. It's not just Western knowledge, right? Because you come from a particular family background, particular socioeconomic class. All these things act upon you. You will never be native. Try as hard as you can. You can try to get close to that by following their cultural rules, by doing all these things. But you're not, You're always the outsider,
Yes.
And an anthropologist always recognizes that.
Okay.
We are never them. And we will never be them. And we don't want to be them.
Okay.
That's not the point. The point is to go and live with these people, spend a long time getting to know them.
So what is the purpose of anthropology?
Yeah. So the purpose of it is to understand different cultures, to help you understand human society. Because I was just talking to someone 2 days ago, right? And she was from social sciences, and then she was saying, how do I argue for the social sciences and humanities to people who are trained in the hard sciences, who are the administrators and guys who hold the money, right? Because they want to know what is the significance of your discipline, right? I want to give you funding, I want to know what is the significance of your discipline. They say, well, if you're hard sciences, you have a cure for cancer, you have, you can do all these things for climate change and ecology and all that. So social sciences, what? You guys are the soft sciences, what?
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, you tell them this, okay? You look at all the problems in the world today, right? Human-made problems, okay? Whether you're talking about environmental degradation, whether you're talking about wars, all stem from one simple fact, which is cultural misunderstanding. You impose your cultural values on another person.
Okay.
And that's when it clashes.
Okay.
Even things like environment, the Western way of perceiving the environment is very different from, say, this culture's view of looking at the environment, right? And it's this kind of stubborn selfishness, which everybody does. It's not saying, tribal communities are like, pristine and... No, they are as ethnocentric and racist as just the other person, right? But it's when we are so selfish and so caught up in our way of thinking and saying our way of thinking is right, that we get these problems, you see.
So anthropology widens one's perspective.
Yeah, anthropology positions you, and it's the only discipline, I think, in any discipline, within this field of disciplines, right? I think anthropology is the only one that forces you to reflect on your position, your own positionality within this massive global world that we live in. If we learn to live with other people and we learn to respect their ways of thinking, a lot of the issues we have today in the world will be solved,
Let me ask you about Singapore itself.
Yeah.
So Singapore itself, we are renowned for our racial harmony.
Yeah.
Or at a lesser level, racial tolerance.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what you're talking about is much higher up than just tolerance, right? You're expecting. So, what do you think in Singapore? Do we have a high level of harmony? Enough understanding? Do the races races interested in each other's culture at a anthropologist level, or it's just there are rules in place. If you break these rules, somebody's going to come knocking on your door.
So every society has social rules. Every single human society, whether it's a big nation state or whether it's a small tribe, you have to have rules.
Sure.
Because without rules, they're just like, it just breaks apart. Right? So there'll always be social structures.
So let's be anthropologists and talk about
Singapore. And look at Singapore, right? Singaporeans, is Singapore really, regardless of race, language, or religion?
I don't know. For me, I rarely think about it.
We rarely think about it.
I rarely think about it. I rarely
because it's
analyze.
So much a part of our day-to-day living, you see. We hear it on National Day. We see it in schools. Everybody lives in harmony.
So that narrative has been put into your
head. It has become Singaporean identity. Singapore always says, we have no identity, But this is the identity, ma.
Isn't that a good thing?
It's a good thing.
Race, regardless of race, religion. Okay. So you actually don't even have to contemplate what that means, right?
Singaporeans still think in terms of ethnic categories, okay? You go to any kind of public venue, you will see a bunch of Chinese people, a bunch of Malay people, a bunch of Indian people. And I really don't like this kind of like boxing, these are Chinese, these are Malay, these are Indian. Because really to them, it's much more complex, right? Your identity is much more fluid than that. And I always tell my students this, is that the word race is very difficult. It's a very problematic term. Because race connotes biological determinism, meaning that the biology of this one and this one are different. It's not true. All humans are the same. What we're talking about are cultural differences.
True, yes.
My class, you have to use the word ethnicity because ethnicity gives power, right, to your culture and your history.
Yes.
Race doesn't. Race talks about biology. And race was used by the colonial state, right, to legitimize white power over indigenous peoples. There will never be a perfect society, right? Because we are social animals, and we work in communities. The brain, the human mind, right, works like that. It needs to form a community. It cannot exist on its own. It would die, you see. So ethnic groups, religious groups, class groups, linguistic groups will always form. That's just normal, right? So Singapore is actually doing a good job. Like if you want to talk about like inter-ethnic interaction, it's more tolerance, I would say. Tolerance, but to an extent, you know. And it's mediated, right, largely by state control. Right? Why don't we do these things? Oh, because we are scared, We have this sense of fear, and that's the other thing that makes Singaporeans. It's this sense of there's a big brother looking after. A big brother meaning the state, the police, whatever, you know. Overseeing you.
I just playing devil's advocate. You know, Big Brother has been bandied around as something negative. At a point like this in geopolitics, I would say a Big Brother is great. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not putting a value judgment to it. I'm saying it's because of that, right? It's not whether it's good or bad. If you really go to the grassroots level of being Singaporean, right? The jokes we tell, the food we eat, the people we interact with, is still very much drawn along these lines. And sometimes it's not the individual that is drawing the line. The fact that your mother tongue comes from this list that's given to you. Singapore is a very interesting case of a society that is manufactured from the top. It creates these perfect, happy robots. You know, we do our thing, we work together, you know, and then there's this discourse. As an anthropologist, right, you're exposed to different communities, different societies, different ways of seeing the world, right? And then you start asking yourself, how much of what we say or what we point to as Singaporean, right? Is intrinsically from us. It's so hard for Singaporeans to think outside the CMIO box. Because it has become part of our identity, which was not there when the British were ruling Singapore. The British really didn't really care about race. So long as they're on top of the hierarchy, right? You guys can do whatever you want.
I mean, you need a comparison, right? I mean, these are Balinese masks, right? I love Bali. I spent a lot of time there. And you can see that their culture is spontaneous. For me, I mean, I observe their harmony is a natural harmony. The way I feel, I mean, their friendliness, maybe less so now. Because
tourism and all.
Tourism and all, but it's genuine. If you go into the
villages,
hey, this is near idyllic, man. I mean, this is as near as the Garden of Eden as I can get to, right? I mean,
but that is an outsider's perspective. So I lived in Bali and I speak Balinese. You see a very different perspective. The idea of Bali was constructed by the Dutch, right, out of colonialism. It was a deliberate policy by the Dutch, and so they pumped finances and money into archaeology, into the arts, into music, creating this image that, you know, of all the societies in the world, right, here, this perfect society with its volcanoes and tropical forests and beautiful beaches and topless women and dancing and Hinduism and all that kind of stuff. And that idea then gets taken up by the Indonesian government, right, after colonialism. And Indonesia realizes that this is actually a marketing tool which we can use to bring in tourists. So now Bali is a main tourist financial earner for Indonesia, right? They have a lot of the same issues that Singaporeans face. But I feel that it's also a bit unfair to say that there's this idyllic type culture in Bali, and then there's this Singapore, like people are less... Because a lot of that is shaped by the environment that you're in. You see, their environment is like that, Their cultural upbringing is like that. But that's also very, very stressful. I don't know if, say, a Singaporean could survive in that kind of environment, right? Because you have your Banjar, for instance. Banjar is like those local community, and the amount of responsibilities you have as a married man, right, is like constant. Temple festival, cremation, festival, cremation.
Understood.
It's a lot of work, you know. You already have your job in the hotel, and then you come back and instead of like do stuff, right?
So what you're saying is that both are manufactured.
Both are manufactured, correct.
Both are
culturally
manufactured.
constructed.
Yeah. So are all societies then manufactured?
Yes.
All right.
There's nothing organic.
Okay. So if Singapore is manufactured, it's neither a good thing or a bad thing. It's just manufactured.
If you think of society as an onion, right? That's just one peel of a bigger thing, lah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if you peel away the Singapore onion, what do you see? Beyond the racial harmony, what are we seeing in the lower area?
I think what we see is a society in Singapore, right, struggling to find an identity for itself, trying to create a sense of Singaporeism, which the Balinese have because they have been there for thousands of years.
Yes.
Singapore is an immigrant society. It's very recent. So this attempt to kind of carve out a niche, to carve out a place for yourself, right, that you actually can call Singapore, is something that is very difficult in the case of Singapore. And it takes a very long time to develop.
I think that when it comes to extreme positions, one has, it's like walking a tightrope.
Correct.
Because the difference between a Christian and a Buddhist, most people don't care.
Yeah. Actually, Singapore is a very interesting case study. If you want to really look at human society, right? Here you have a bunch of people brought in from all over, right? Chinese, Indonesians, Indians, who more or less came in the 19th century, early 20th century. Basically, they got rid of the indigenous people, right? All your Orang Lao and all have disappeared. Because they don't need to say. So now you have this new group of people, and they're all basically came here for economic reasons, for the large part, right? Make money with the intention of going back or sending money back.
Sure.
There was no sense of, I belong to this country, because you didn't what? You were born in China or you're born in wherever. So along comes 1965, along comes independence, and the new nation, the idea of a nation, the idea of belonging to this nation comes about. What makes a Singaporean? I think it's this very fact that a Singaporean cannot define himself. That is the defining point. The fact that we cannot pinpoint what makes a Singaporean. You can say Singlish, you can say, but then not everybody speaks English, what?
Absolutely.
And everybody speaks it differently.
Yeah.
Then people will be, oh yeah, it's food, it's hawker center.
I find it very unique that Singaporeans are honest. Now, maybe not from the heart, but if you leave your wallet outside,
of course,
it's a Singapore thing. It's a Singapore thing. If you leave something, most likely which society would you find? I don't know. Maybe in one of the Nordic societies, I don't know. Maybe, right? Maybe, right? But this is
correct. Yeah, I think Singaporeans should also realize, right, that they need to do a bit of reflection, like how much of what you do and what you believe in, right, is an imposition and your reaction to the imposition, and how much of it is from your culture, your own upbringing, and how do you negotiate between these two things, you see? Because it's like you say, it becomes second nature that we feel that our society only has 4 races. We feel that everything works like this. You know what I mean? It's a very simplistic way of understanding society, lah. But of course, not everybody's going to analyze society, lah, right? That's where the anthropologist comes in, lah. But the average man on the street, he doesn't care, right? And we shouldn't impose.
One thing is like I found recently which touched me a lot. So my own sister, just last week, she was involved in an accident. A truck hit her and she fell. And she had a bad concussion. And this Singaporean boy stayed with her, called the hospital, and waited with her for 4 to 5 hours. Yeah. And after that, for the next few days, he called us to see how she was.
Well, that was very nice.
Wow. My thing is that Singaporeans are very clinical. They don't want to get involved in things that, But I find that for me, talking to a lot of the younger generation, there's a lot of change, Their attitude is very different from our generation. And luckily, he was medically trained. He did all the tests to see whether my sister had a concussion, so on and so forth, stayed with her, wanted to get into the ambulance with her. It's like, wow. Wow. And at first thought when Rose and I met him was, are you Singaporean? Because he didn't look Singaporean.
Right.
He didn't have a Singaporean accent. But he's a Singaporean.
Something like that also could happen anywhere in the world.
Correct.
Does that... I mean, I agree. A lot of Singaporeans are actually nice, as are a lot of people anywhere in the world. I don't think it's a trait unique to us. That is more, I feel, a human connection, a human universal. That is, I see someone suffering, right? I feel I want to help. Some people don't want to help because they're afraid, right? They're afraid, like in the US, for instance, you're afraid you'll be sued if something happens to that person. So I don't want to touch the person. Other people may be afraid, actually, I have no medical training.
No, actually, my opinion was Singapore was that people wouldn't help you. People will call the ambulance at most. But from what I see in the papers, and I read an anecdote, is that people are actually getting involved. And for my sister, it wasn't only this boy. Apparently, 3 other people stopped, waited by her. One of them opened an umbrella. They're not first aid trained. They held an umbrella over her. One of them gave her a jacket. So it's to me, it's different.
If it happened in Thailand, if it happened in Jakarta, if it happened in wherever, you think of a country. You transport the whole situation over to there, right? I think it's not really about the nationality of the person, because we say Singaporean, we're already implying something.
Yes.
But it's more of a human universal. You see, if I saw something happening to a person of a different ethnic group than myself, I would go ahead and help also because I recognize that. Or if I saw an animal suffering, right, you would also, for some people, they would actually go and do these things. But something are definitely changing. I mean, if you compare to like when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s, right? I mean, a lot of things have changed for the better, for the better. People are more aware of the environment, people are more aware of animals and the fact that animals have rights and things like that.
So do you think that this is the Singaporeanness we are looking for? We are all looking for good things to attach ourselves to. I mean, maybe it doesn't come naturally because, this love for animals, right? In the old days, you bought a dog you didn't like, you drive the dog to Jurong, you let it go. Now it's against the law. We can actually go to jail for that, right? It's really changed,
But I think there are certain things that are... Like, even if you go back historically and you kind of really go back in time, right? The idea of the pet, right? Like your relationship to an animal, a pet, from ancient Egypt to the present. People have always had strong bonds to certain animals. And if it's my pet, I treat it in a different way than, say, if it's going to be food, right? But also Singapore is very global, right? And a lot of things that we see happening in Singapore, the kind of the changes, right, are a result of being global, right? Singapore is a society in process, right? There is no end product. We live in a culture, right, where you are never good enough. There's always room for improvement. Nobody taps you on the shoulder and say, hey, you did a good job, enough, okay, you can rest. No, it's like, you got an A+, but next time try for A++. Your salary went up, but you can still go up further. You are never good. You hear this all the time, and especially on National Day.
But isn't this an Asian thing? Because, you watch American sitcoms, right? That's the running joke about Asians, right? That's the cliche about Asians. They're good at maths. They'll beat you in school.
To say that it is an Asian thing or a Western thing, the fact that you are never good enough, the kind of the discourse is never good. It's not true. What in Thai society?
I'm saying it's the other.
But you see,
it is the Asians are good at. They're smarter. They're smarter because they work harder.
Work harder is one thing. You can work hard. I mean that's fine. But it's the belief
but that's part of the never good enough thing, right? That's why Asians try.
No. Right? So if you see Thai society, right? Thai society, the king Bhumibol, King Rama IX, right? he came out with this idea. It was like a royal edict. He said, enough. It's like the philosophy of enoughness, right? You make enough money, you can send your kids to school, you can buy a house, you have your land, enough, right? So there's a stop, you see.
Yeah.
And that's very much part of Thai society. You find it in Bali as well.
Yes.
You know, my friends who make these masks, right?
Yes.
They just make masks. You know? That's their job. Yeah. I say, how much money can you get for making a mask? It's like, oh, sometimes I sell, sometimes I don't sell. Okay lah. I'm happy. Enough already.
I understand. I get it.
Whereas in Singapore, you are always told, it's not about economic.
Yeah, it's
the sense, the sense that I need to always improve.
Yeah.
Whether it's aesthetics, whether it's money, whether it's education, you are never satisfied.
Yeah.
On the one hand, my family says, okay, can already. But on the other hand, society says cannot. So I say Singapore is an identity in process, right? Yeah. But at the same time, within that identity in process is this idea that's very unique to Singapore, I feel, of never being good enough. It motivates you to be a better person. But on the other hand, it's also negative because this leads to a lot of stress. Correct. I see this with all my students.
A lot of people, not our age, have recognized this. Priority for them is work-life balance. They're addressing it. They're actively, they say that my life is, my mental health
is important.
Work-life balance is important. So I think they are the change that Singapore is looking for.
Maybe teenagers now, when they become 50 and become the policy makers, we may, I'm just guessing, a very different type of Singapore.
You know, with the PM's manifesto and all that, he's already identified many of the things that we wish for. A Singapore that is no longer judged on the old criterion of what success is. I mean, it's been listed out. At least it's been listed out. Maybe we are not there yet, but a more inclusive Singapore. These are nice sound bites, but at least the sound bites are there. Whereas if you look in certain nations, the sound bites are going the other way, right?
Correct.
People are becoming more. It's crazy, right?
I think the Singapore government, right? They have their act in place, right? They know what they're doing. Like this thing about never being good enough, right? This philosophy, I think, can be changed immediately. It doesn't require a change.
But that's society's expectations.
So this thing about not being good enough, about always competing, about always, trying to be better. You can see it as good, but you also have to realize that there's a flip side to that of society being unhappy. You ask anybody, are you really happy?
I think what a lot of Singaporeans are doing is now taking it upon themselves because they are mature enough now, right?
But it's also very difficult, because you
know what? They are finding their ways. They are becoming digital nomads. They're finding careers where they are dancers. Where this is amazing girl. She has got an African dance school. This is part of Makan Time Stories. She opened an African dance school. She teaches African dance. She gets teachers from Africa to come in. How wonderful. How refreshing. Right? She's living her life as she wants. So I also understand that you are a Balinese dancer.
Yes.
Right. Because I'm also quite interested in the Balinese culture. So whenever I go to Bali, we have a pemangku.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Pemangku.
We have a pemangku. And every time we go, he will take us to different places, to Melukat and all that. So,
well, you know the vocabulary also.
So what is it that allows you to do Balinese dance? I thought it was a very sacred thing that is exclusive to the Balinese people. But I'm sure you have gone far enough into that to be allowed to dance, because traditionally you are taking on the spirit, literally, of whoever you're dancing on around.
That one depends. That one depends. Not all Balinese dances are sacred. I do mass dance, right, Topeng, and this is one of the most sacred Balinese dances.
Okay.
But It can be performed in a non-sacred way. As in, if you don't do the rituals and all that, then it becomes just a secular. I studied in Bali for a while with dancers, different teachers. And then I came back and then I just, set up my own dance group. Right? The majority of Balinese dancers, right, can be performed by anybody. Doesn't matter what ethnicity, what religion, anybody can do it. What you are channeling as a dancer is a concept called taksu. Maybe you know of this. Taksu is this belief in... It's a very indigenous Balinese concept. It's like a charisma. Taksu is what makes your work... It tends to refer to artists, but can refer to anybody.
Yes.
Your work stand out. Taksu comes about from the effort you put in as a practitioner into the art form. So say you're carving a mask, right? You really carve it with dedication and you're really serious about it. I want to make this nice. Then automatically this one got taksu. If this mask got taksu, when I put it on, the taksu transfers to the dancer. Because you're wearing a very... It's not a sacred mask, it's just a mask with taksu.
So I've watched the typical touristy thing, and it's about the characters. They're just normal humans. There's a bunch of jokers, right?
So jokers like this one.
Jokers. They fool around and I get it.
So each performance usually lasts about two hours. And it's done in it's done in a temple. It's not usually done for tourists because tourists don't want to sit through 2 hours of Balinese history. But the Balinese love it. And it's seen as an essential part. And this is where it becomes religion, right? Topeng is an essential part of most Balinese rituals. Must have topeng performance. You must, because what you're doing is you're bringing history into the present. So when Balinese have a temple festival, when they pray, right? They're praying to the Hindu gods, but the Hindu gods are also their ancestors. So this is where Balinese Hinduism and Indian Hinduism are different. So your ancestors become the gods, and so you're praying to your
leluhur,
history.
right?
Your leluhur. So you're praying to your history. And topeng manifests history because the ancestors are invisible. But here you can see them. So
any chance you could just perform something very short for us?
I can do a few movements for you.
Sure. With the mask.
With the mask. So topeng performance always starts with the Prime Minister. And these masks are actually made by very famous craftsmen. So, they sign your name at the back.
Gorgeous.
It's made of pule wood. So this is the Prime Minister. He starts the show. Followed by the old man, Topeng Tuo. Now it's also kind of hard with no music. Ready?
Wow, that was powerful. What was that word you used just now? Taksu. Gravitas. I would use that word.
That one is the Prime Minister. It's the second one. Going to the old man.
performance. Seriously. Wow.
Clown.
Last one.
You filming me? You want me dancing?
Yeah.
You dancing with me? No. Rose, you don't want dancing with me?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. Then start.
No, you go ahead. You're doing well, very well without me.
I already do.
Bravo. Fantastic.
Yeah. So like that, then so what I show you is just the basic movements.
Okay. No, that was a very powerful performance, and the masks are very powerful.
Because we talk about Singapore politics, man.
Okay, so this is part of the Thai mural that you're painting.
Yeah, this is at the temple
you're so
in Chua Chu Kang.
multi-talented. It's quite incredible that I would assume this is not an easy skill again to pick up.
No, this is a very... I like slow things, ma. That's why I'm very slow. It's a very slow process of painting. Yeah, so this is on the walls of a temple in Chua Chu Kang. I've been working on it for 11 years now when I'm not doing other stuff.
So your own ancestry is from...
My mom is Thai, but from Malaysia. Dad is American. And so when I did my PhD, right, for my field work, I spent 18 months living in Kelantan, where she's from. But the style I paint for the murals is the old Bangkok style. So that was a drawing I did in Sec 2. It's still in my house, I'm surprised.
In Sec 2,
Sec 2, yeah.
What?
1985.
Yeah,
1985.
What, you've been painting Thai temple
since I was a kid. I mean, this is a frame painting in my parents' house.
But it's quite incredible. I mean, you are Thai Buddhist or what?
Yeah, I'm Thai Buddhist.
Yeah. This is a very non-Thai face.
That's Hitler. Yeah, so this is a scene from hell.
Yeah.
And so these are the ghosts in hell. And so I wanted it to be relatable to Singaporean audiences with traditional murals on the wall. Traditional meaning that the style I paint in, right, is... I mean, with the exception of like Hitler, I mean, the overall style is very classical. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have run out of time. I'm going to start cooking for you. Thank you so much. That was an intense conversation. Thank you.
It was fun.
Irving, I'm going to be making a Peranakan lamb curry.
A lamb curry?
Yeah. Usually you wouldn't get Peranakans cooking lamb, but this is one of the rare unique recipes where lamb is used.
Oh.
Nyonya lamb curry is a Peranakan adaptation of Indian-style curries, one served at weddings and festive feasts. It reflects how early Chinese settlers blended local spices into new celebratory dishes. So we start off with some oil. Shallots go in. Some green chili, ginger, galangal, serai.
Oh, serai.
Yeah. For this recipe, you want some texture, so you don't grind down the
So everything's just in chopped form.
Yeah. And then
asam gugo.
Hey, you cook, right?
Yeah.
So you know.
Here they call it asam keping.
Yeah.
So it's slightly tangy lah.
Yes, definitely.
Bunga kantang.
Yeah, you definitely cook.
They use a lot of it in Balinese food also.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Belacan.
Chili powder. Then curry powder. What I like about a lot of Asian dishes is that in one dish you can see the influences of Malay, Chinese, Indian. It's just incredible, and I think just now we were discussing, right, about the harmony and integration. It's really in the food. It's really in the harmony of the food. If at all, there is definitely integration in the food.
And a lot of people forget like a lot of the ingredients we're using are actually European imports, right? Like chili, tomato, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so we're almost done with this. Now, add in the lamb. Okay, so this is only the first part of the process. Second part of the process is get yourself a good clay pot, something that's glazed.
Oh, then you put it in the pot.
Yeah.
And then you cook it in the pot.
And then you slow cook it. So you braise it. That's where the flavors intensify.
So it's just the natural juices lah.
Yeah. You add water. It's like that.
Very nice.
Almost forgot. You help me with this. Sure, you can
soup.
guess. This.
Put it in now?
Yeah. Chuck in. Yeah. Now, slow cook for about 2 hours.
Oh. Looks good, Chris.
Thank you.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
The color.
Please try it, sir.
Very nice.
Interesting flavors, huh?
Very beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
You cooking something that includes ingredients from a whole range of
different techniques, yeah.
And different techniques, an Indian pot, a Peranakan food, any kind of food. It's a story of human interactions across space and time, right? Just as with dance and with art.
Yeah, absolutely. As Irving shared, culture flows across time and space, always evolving. Like this slow-simmered Nyonya lamb curry, it's a story shared, served warm on a hot plate.